Yes, I am Professor Omari Tao, Professor of Vocal Music here at Cosumnes College, and super excited to welcome you all to this day. This is I guess it's the fourth of our series, but it's the first of this iteration of what we offer each this semester, I guess I should say. And so it's pretty fun. I'm pretty excited about this new venture that we're on and presenting all the hard work our students have been preparing for today, and just learning about how this whole new landscape of making music in a virtual world.
Yeah, this has been really fun. Last week we had our first open mic session, which went really, really well, and I'm really excited to see what happens in our open mics in the next month or so. And the 2 weeks previous to that, we had guest artists, Karen Slack, fabulous vocalist, and our own music tech expert, Derek Keller, speak about using Zoom and producing music virtually. And all those videos you can find on our YouTube page. Music at CRC is our handle for all of our social media. So you can find this video when it's uploaded there as well. So how's it going? We're done with the first quarter of the semester, Professor Tao. And I don't know about you, but yeah, it's been a long first 4 weeks.
It has been a long 4 weeks, and it's really, I mean, I think we always say it. It's like, oh wow, those weeks went by so quickly. This was nonstop connectivity to media, devices, computer, instruction, meetings, emails, all kinds of things like that, and music making, which is usually our escape from all of that. And so in this interesting way, we were drawn together and had to utilize these new devices and software and hardware, everything, in order to find another way of thinking connectivity, and so, or musically at least. So it's been eye-opening, it's been frustrating, and it's also been revealing, like exciting. Like I've been wowed by a lot of things that students have prepared and made happen.
Yeah,
How about
similar.
you?
I've
Same thing?
had that experience. Yeah, exactly the same experience. There's always a big learning curve with stuff like this, and we have amongst our faculty and amongst our students such a wide range of comfort level and familiarity with the technology, that now that we're forced to all kind of work on this platform, it I don't know, it does something different. Like you're saying, it forces us to think differently about how we make music and what our end goals are. And so, some of the questions, at least I've been getting from band directors in the area and other music teachers, is how are you rehearsing band online? I mean, isn't that impossible? And, it's not impossible, but we are just not choosing to go that particular route because it does require kind of a next level of like technological capability and facility, having really, really high speed download and processing power at your own home locations. And that's just not a reality for all of us in these ensembles. So our approach has been a little bit different in our classes. So today we'd like to talk a little bit about how we're actually putting together some virtual performances and how it's kind of changing the way we think about music education and trying to create, like you said, some connectivity in this distance education environment.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to hear what you all are doing and see how we can put this together. This is pretty wonderful because we don't have a different thing in that we're all on the same program together, and so I think that's a wonderful welcome into this new world. So
Yeah,
welcome to you, and thanks for allowing us to work with you guys on this concert.
of course, and thank you to everyone who's tuning in and engaging with us on the chat. Of course, you're always welcome to ask questions about how we're doing this kind of thing. And if you're an educator or a student out there as well, and you want to learn more about what's going on, you can always contact us individually as well. So, again, because we're using a different platform, it just kind of gets different ideas out there. And at least from my perspective, I want to get a real mixed bag. So this semester, we're going to be pursuing some traditional repertoire and some popular repertoire and some very experimental repertoire, some things that are all written within the past few years or this year specifically for instances like this. A lot of composers are kind of responding to this moment and writing music that has what we would call flexible instrumentation and is very user-friendly in distance applications like this. So we'll be featuring some pieces like that. But to start off this semester, I gave the students a few pieces that were familiar to all of us. And the first one we're going to be listening to is the national anthem. It's something that every musician at some point in their career has to learn how to perform and play. So it's just a standard of the repertoire. All musicians are going to be asked to play it at some point. So we decided to record the national anthem. And as you listen to this, you can sit, stand, kneel, salute, however you want to take this in. We did this as, again, a way to kind of practice our recording technique. Again, it's a piece that's familiar to all of us. And it gave us a really good insight as to how this semester might most efficiently work, right? And it's only one piece, but it really takes a lot of effort to get this all into what we call a digital audio workstation and then hear the end result of that. So I'm going to turn this over to our instructional assistant, Gabriel Rivera. And thank you, Gabriel Rivera, for doing so much work on these series. He's the man behind the show, everything that you see here. And he's going to play a little slideshow that I have put together for our instrumental music ensemble. So if you could pull that up, I could just speak to that quickly. Beautiful. So I'm calling this the CRC Instrumental Music Ensemble because it incorporates students from these three classes. You can advance the slide, that's right. Thank you. So we have an orchestra here on campus, we have a jazz band, and we have a concert band. But I thought it would just be kind of a fun thing because my musical philosophy really is there are only two kinds of music. There's the good kind and then the other. I like to kind of break these barriers and kind of blur the lines and things. I thought it would be fun just to put them all together in one large ensemble called the Instrumental Music Ensemble. So it's featuring students from all of these courses, and take it away. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for those nice comments. Appreciate that.
Congratulations. Wow. That was
Thank you.
really, I can hear the hard work and in all of that, the preparation, putting it together. And I have to say, I love how this instrumental ensemble, at some point I heard, I think it's when you playing that sort of mallet string instrument, and it reminded me also sort of like an Italian mandolin and things. I was like, it's so wonderful how it captures this America that's like people from everywhere and every experience. And I was just, wow, that was a really cool surprise to hear in there.
Yeah, that's a great comment. Yeah, I guess we would refer to it in English as the hammered dulcimer, but Yeah,
Yes.
what's really fun about this is that you get to bring instruments together that don't often get together, right? We have violin, we have three violinists actually. We have a hammered dulcimer, we have three or four tuba players. You know, a lot of variety going on in this ensemble, and oboe player, and English horn. You know, just all kinds of different things. A few guitar players and percussionists. So you know, if we were strictly divided into jazz band, concert band, and orchestra, we often wouldn't be able to collaborate with one another in this kind of instrumentation. So, yeah, it's really fun to do this. I did want to show a little bit of that hard work as well. So I'm going to do a bit of screen sharing on my end because, as you know, there's just like the past first few weeks has just been trying to figure out how this all works. So hopefully you can see this on your end. Is that the case?
Yes.
Great. So what we're using is this website called BandLab, and they also have an app that you can download on the phone. And you're using this as well. And we've decided to use this platform because it works across devices, across operating systems, and it also has a mobile application, which is really easy to use for those people who may not have computers at home but only have a smartphone or something like this. So that was kind of the criteria that we needed to fulfill when choosing a platform to use for recording, right? So we can't all use Pro Tools because it's expensive, you know, and it takes up a lot of you know, space on your hard drive and that kind of thing, and not a lot of people are going to be familiar with a really advanced program like this. So BandLab is free, and it has a website. You can go to bandlab.com if you're interested, if for those of you following at home. And you can set up a profile, which is what I've done here. And then I've created a band for the CRC Instrumental Music Ensemble. And we've all joined together in these collaborations, right? These projects. So we all invite one another to collaborate and record these projects together. And so what this essentially does is it creates like a virtual rehearsal situation, right? Because we're not actually rehearsing together in real time. We can rehearse virtually via this platform. So somebody can go in on Monday, and this is loading up. You'll see all the tracks here. This has been mixed down and touched up a little bit. Someone can go in and they can record the top track, right? And then the next person on Tuesday can go in and record the second track as they listen to their colleague play in the first, and so on and so forth down the line. The next player, a trumpet player or something like this, could record the third part, clarinet could record the fourth, and they're all kind of listening to one another and adjusting, tuning and balancing and all that kind of stuff as you would normally do in rehearsals, but this time you're doing it on a recorded platform, a virtual platform. So this is what happens here, and the students are then kind of required to, again, touch up their tracks a little bit, position the audio file left or right to make sure that it lines up accurately with everybody else, and adjust some of the volumes just so that the final mix is roughly what we want. So that's kind of what's going on here, and that's how we're doing this generally throughout the semester. I'm going to stop sharing now. Though we have some students who are very, very capable at this and have been investigating digital audio workstations, DAWs, for years already. You know, I equate this to GarageBand. It's like a more democratic version of GarageBand, I suppose.
Right.
But some people are really into Logic or Pro Tools, and they have those programs. So a lot of our students are using those programs as well.
And we have classes where you can learn how to use that as well, actually. So I think Derek Keller teaches some of that. And so some of the students have had the benefit of actually getting prepared for a semester like this. And I think this app is really meant to be used for electronic music, and it's got a lot of loops and things like that. You can make beats and collaborate with people from anywhere around the world. So it's kind of pretty cool that it allows that. We're not just limited here to the people you're in class with. You can take it even further, take as far as you want.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Great. So I think you have some choir recordings that you'd like to share with us.
I do, and I have a similar sort of situation. We are using the same sort of thing. I'm going to share my screen and let you know what we're doing and talk a little bit about that as we go into a bunch of different vocal music here. So Um, so the way we've prepared things is we've also used um, Band Lab to collaborate, and we've got 3 different choirs here. We've got chamber singers, college chorus, and we also have gospel choir. And they are all working on different things, but they also work together on certain elements. The college chorus and chamber singers are working together, and then everyone worked together on one of the songs we'll sing today. But they're all working on using the same platform and learning about it, experiencing its frustrations, but also at some point, hopefully, enjoying what happens when we all sing together. So you can see us here working. There's a few of us on the side there. There's Zoom is open, and then you can see us there to the left with some lines and different things. I actually talk to them as if I were in a session. So there's the director line up top, and this is me talking to gospel choir. Okay, you're going to enter very softly. Okay, build it up. Okay, now cut off right here. And so we try to make as many connective elements as we can. And it's very interesting. Our students are learning a lot, and I am too, about what it means when you're not directly in front of them to give direction, to be a metronome, et cetera, and keep time. So one of the first pieces that we put together is a small tune that I created for gospel choir. It's a 3-part vocal piece, and it really is sort of a prayerful, repetitious kind of piece. So I'm going to get started and play it for you. And then and let me know if there's any issue with the sound. But we'll go ahead and listen to this piece called Yes.
Yes, yes,
Beautiful.
Thank you. So I thought that I think it's that was very useful for us to sort of figure out what things work on the program and what things don't work on the program, and particularly how our different microphones work and how loud we can get, how soft we can be. So I'm super proud of them for working and trying things out. And some things I think worked really well, and some things I'm learning about the technology as well. Yes, Teresa Aldridge, I was playing the piano, the keyboard, and then it goes into the system and it make it sound all kinds of different ways. But that was a lot of fun to just sort of have something to pull together for the students, and they did a great job. So we did another one. We tried another one that was very simple. And so for those of you who know gospel music, you of course will know the name Kirk Franklin, who's a contemporary composer of gospel, known very much for his infusion of pop styles, pop quotes. He'll take a whole pop song and just add different lyrics to it. And while that has always been controversial in gospel, it's important to know that gospel music, its origins were born of that. Thomas Dorsey was a blues pianist and started playing that blues music with sacred texts, and people were confused by that. They were angered by it in many ways until they realized that they could have a funky groove or have a really good feeling about the sounds they were enjoying every day and put the kind of text that they wanted on it. So one of the tunes he did was Melodies from Heaven. And this is our little version of that. We just have our little synth drum in the background. And then we added our voices. And there's a quote in here from actually a quote in the original, not in our version, but there's a quote in the original from Tony, which is another sort of R&B group. So this is our version of Melodies from Heaven. Oh, yes, that's right. They're from this region, right? So here we go. Melodies from Heaven.
Melodies from heaven, rain down on me, rain down on me. Melodies from heaven, rain down on me, rain down on me. Take me in your arms and hold me close. Rain down on me, rain down on me. Fill me with your precious Holy Ghost. Rain down on me, rain down on me. Melodies from heaven, rain down on me, rain down on me. Melodies from heaven, rain down on me, rain down on me. Take me in your arms and hold me close. Rain down on me, rain down on me.
Hi. I don't, there we go. You can see me and hear me. Okay, there we go. So that was our gospel choir, our couple of tunes that we worked on, and I want to thank them so much for all their hard work, and excited to see what we can do as we continue throughout the rest of the semester. So uniquely, this semester, we've combined our other two choruses, chamber singers and college chorus. They tend on the classical side of vocals, although they definitely also experience a little jazz, a little pop, all kinds of other things. Today, we're doing just a couple of madrigals. Again, just trying to get us started, a sort of Renaissance secular music. And the first thing we did was a simple tune with a not so simple message, I guess. Wir zogen in das Feld features our tenors and basses. And it is really a song about some either bandits or soldiers who have marched off into the battlefield only to be greeted poorly in the various cities that they go into. I've got the translation up here for you to view, but this features our tenors and basses in Wir zogen in das Feld. I want to commend them on their quick picking up of the piece and their command of both German, a sort of broken German and broken Italian. So they did very well on this very quickly. Wir zogen in das Feld.
Wir zogen in das Feld. Wir zogen in das Feld, da het wir wederzijds nog geld stramberry. Alla mi presente al vostra signori. Alla mi presente al vostra signori. Wir kaum für 7 tot. Wir kaum für 7 tot, da hätt wir weder Wein noch Brot, stramberry. Alla mi presente al vostra signori. Alla mi presente al vostra signori. Willkommen in Friaul. Willkommen in Friaul, da hätt wir allesamt vom Haus stramberry. Alla mi presente al vostra signori. Alla mi presente al vostra signori.
I had fun with that. So just to let you know, there's what they were saying, of course, those raspberry sounds, alarmi, either trumpets or noises, any kind of thing that they could throw in there to get back at the people they were engaging with. So thanks, tenors and basses, for working on that tune and putting it together. I'd love to do this sometimes, Max, with, some of these madrigals, they need a lute or a guitar or a drum. A real one would be really nice if we could get past the, the little synth noises that I'm finding. So it'd be great to collaborate on that end as well, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. For the audience, we're going to do some collaborations coming up. We have a few planned, and not the next round, but the round after. But yeah, this stuff is really fun to do. And this whole time I've been thinking, how can I take the choral approach to composition and performance and apply it to instrumental ensembles, especially the gospel choir? I think that stuff is so powerful, especially when you break into harmony. And it's such a different approach, and I would love to do more collaborations with the choir in the future. But one of the things I'm learning from hearing your tracks is that some of these MIDI instruments sound pretty good. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And I imagine our students are getting this experience that it's kind of challenging to recreate that sensation of performing something live and connecting with your colleagues virtually, and especially as they're making those noises in the background, those silly kind of musical jokes. Like, it would almost, I can imagine it feels a little I don't know, uncomfortable to do that in the vacuum of your own bedroom. You know what I mean? And feel like you're performing for nobody, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
But that's how it's done, right? But that's how it's done. You go into the studio and you have MIDI instruments and you do it for yourself and the people around you, and not for a crowd of 1,000 or whatever the case might be, you know. So
Right.
anyway, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
there's a conversation I think people were having, you know, sort of the difference between performance and production, right? We're producing things, and the sort of cycle that you go through, sort of learn and try, and then you present when it's ready for an audience. Whereas here you kind of like, you know, you do sort of learn and try, but really it's more of like, you know, you put it out there. You don't need as much permission. The great thing about the software that we're using, good and bad thing I'll say, is that you don't have to sort of put one thing out and be done with it. You can in fact try something, and if you're not satisfied with it, you can go back and try again. What it takes is a certain amount of maturity as an artist, young artist in many of our cases, so that you don't overburden the process by doing it a million and a half times until you quote unquote get it right. Instead, you just sort of say, hey, I'm going to put something out there. And you know what? That's what I did. And I can tweak it and I can play with it and I can add sounds. And, that's kind of a different approach than what we were used to in the sort of classical trained viewpoint. But popular musicians have been doing this for ages. Ever since you could produce anything, they've been making the people that we listen to and sing along with sound amazing, and allow them to do all kinds of fun things. So I think at least now we can at least experiment and play with the technology, learn, like you said, what those other instruments sound like, what we have access to. If anything comes out of this semester of making music, I hope students find that they have access and ways in which they can create without just having to be in a traditional ensemble. So that's pretty fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got one more tune from the choir. This time it's from chamber singers and college chorus. I don't know, can you see that, our video in front of everybody? I'm trying to get it off the screen, but chamber singers and college chorus are going to do another magical here by Thomas Morley called Sing We and Chant It. Here we go.
Sing we and chant it while love doth grant it. Fa la 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 fa la la la. Sing we and chant it while love doth grant it. Fa la 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 fa la la la. Not long it lasted, and old age hasted. Now is best leisure to take our pleasure. Fa la la la. And old age hasted, now is best leisure to take our pleasure. La 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 la. All things invite us now to delight us. La 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 la. All things invite us now to delight us. La 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 la. Hence care be packing, no earthly lacking. Let's spare no treasure to live in pleasure. La 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 la. Hence care be packing, no earthly lacking. Let's spare no treasure to live in pleasure. La 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 la.
So you can see here, after we did, well, congratulations and thank you all you singers, good job. That's what you sound like. Sometimes it takes a while and you go, oh my goodness, it's so hard to hear what you sound like when you're working together, but that's it. So I took the things that we created in BandLab and then I did take them out and put them in GarageBand so that I could actually work on them a little bit more. You can see I added a little space in between the verses and got rid of the extra noises that were there. Just little little tiny tweaks. There are also some things, some tracks are a little louder than others, and we can take them up or down. I move some things to the side so that you can hear them coming out of your stereo speakers in a slightly more expanded way. And I really didn't do a lot. I really did not, but a little bit can help you feel like you at least sound like you're in a room or in a building together. And that was really exciting to hear all of the voices together. I know it's hard for students, but Max, don't you find it hard for you as well? Just as an instructor, you just miss being around all the people and hearing the sounds. I mean, I just miss it.
Yeah, it's definitely something, that we have.
Oh, someone froze. Is it me or is it Max?
And for cultivating our sense of leadership and community and that kind of thing, that it really causes us to have to I don't know, just rethink how we do things, and it's challenging, but I just love that the students are really coming together and helping one another out. There's so much collaboration and assistance being given by the students who are already well versed in this kind of thing. It's just really encouraging to see. We haven't lost anything.
Yeah. I froze up there for a second, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't lose you. I think we're getting close to time, but I've got two more pieces from students, and then actually this will start us off with our student spotlight, our very specific student spotlight. So I'm going to share a couple pieces that were arranged by one of our students, John Josefa, who I know is out there watching. John shared a video last week at the open mic. We're going to share that video again for you, for those of you who missed it. But he also is working on something for the next open mic, and it is a performance of Miles Davis's All Blues. And so here's just a small excerpt from that, and we're going to go right into his performance of Sweet Dreams with other singers. So congrats to John. Thank you so much for letting us showcase your work today. And thank you all for checking out the vocal side of what's happening here. We got one more piece for you toward the end, but I'll play these real quickly and then we'll go on.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. The sea, the sky, and you and I. The sea, the sky, and you and I are all blue. All shades, all hues, all blue. Wow.
Thanks, John. And here's his next piece, which is Sweet Dreams. Just FYI, John, I'm sure he would not mind me telling you, loves to collaborate, loves more singers to fill out his ensembles, and this ensemble called Who's Counting. So if you're interested, he's here. Message him in the chat.
Bum 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 bada bum bum bada bum 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 bada bum bum bada bum 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 bada bum bum bada bum 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 bada bum bum bada bum bum.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I traveled the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Oh. are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I traveled the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Hold your head up, keep your head up, hold your head up, keep your head up, hold your head up, keep your head up, moving on, hold your head up, moving on, keep your head up, moving on. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I traveled the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.
Woohoo! Awesome, awesome. Super fun. Thank you, students. And thank you, John Josefa, for putting it together. Notice that he uses Sibelius, BandLab, and Shotcut, which is an interesting way to put things together. Actually, he taught me about Shotcut, which is really exciting. I'm gonna turn it over to Max now, so that you can showcase even more students.
Yeah, that was awesome. Congratulations to you and to your students. That was so great. Wow. So I know we have a lot of students who are listening and that kind of thing. And so they're all inspired by one another's energy. And, you know, I love that kind of thing where we're trying to give some of this responsibility in choosing your own path in music and in your careers to the students, rather than leaving it just up to your director or your teacher to say, this is what you need to do. We have to reevaluate our own initiatives sometimes. And so part of this is having a portfolio project that my students are pursuing at the moment. And so what we're doing over the semester is I'm having the students collect solo or small ensemble projects in addition to our large ensemble projects like the recording of the national anthem and others we'll do, into a portfolio that it can take with them into their careers after CRC. And so this gives the students an opportunity to pursue things that they really love and that they enjoy doing. And as we've been seeing noted in the chat, there are so many talented students out here with diverse talents that we wouldn't be able to recognize if we had them in such a traditional format. You know, if someone is playing first clarinet in concert band, I wouldn't know that they also played guitar and sang and played bass and, you know, did other kinds of things. But in this context, because they're able to produce music and record music of their own choosing and kind of pursue these venues, we get to showcase them in other ways that they wouldn't normally be seen. So I'm not going to say much after this. I'm just going to introduce the projects. We have 6 solo or small ensemble projects. Most of them are solo projects, except for one is a duet. And there's a slide presentation along with this, which shows you who these students are performing. And each week you'll get a different rotation of students. I'm really excited by this because they're all very, very different. Some pop, some rock, some classical, some traditional Irish, and just amazing stuff and a great addition to our course curriculum. So I'm going to turn it over to Gabriel to start off our show and the student spotlight.
so much fun.
Yeah, awesome. Great work everywhere. That was beautiful.
Congratulations,
Wonderful.
instrumentalists. Great job, students. That was a lot of fun. As you said, Omari, I was just blown away by everyone's recordings. They all submitted them this week, and it was so hard to choose just 6, you know? So
Yeah.
we hope to feature more students next time we do this in a month's time. So the next student spotlight will be a month from now or 4 weeks from now. Open mic in 3 weeks. And we have a few more events coming up, don't we?
We sure do. And I mean, I think I wanted to give a shout out to the singers out there. You're going to be, not you need to, but you are going to be showing out in a major way in the next student spotlight. So you can start working on those pieces too. Things that you want to do, right? Some things that we worked on maybe, or some things that you just, you do on your own. You've seen some examples of that. So I cannot wait to hear what you do. But yeah, we've got some other events coming up, and next week is the next time we sort of start the cycle over again. We get more information in our information out to the public about the incredible wide world of music that there is, and still keeping an eye on tackling technology. And so one of our peers, who I believe is here, our colleague, Dr. Lisa Beebe, is here to talk maybe quickly about next week. Is that right? You're going to tell us? There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Pin her.
Oh, hi, I'm here.
Up.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hi, everybody. So next week, I'm going to talk all things podcasts. If you like listening to podcasts, if you have ever thought about making your own, next week we're going to chat about it, from the content creation process. We're also going to tackle a little bit about recording. We're going to talk about a simple free program called Anchor. And then we're also going to have a panel of students who have made podcasts at CRC in some of my courses last year, including John, who's here today. So super excited to hear about their projects, really excited to hear what you all want to create and put into the world. If today didn't inspire you, I don't know what will. Yeah, and can't wait to see you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. That was that's really exciting, because I have been told about so many different podcasts that I need to check out. And I've also been told that I need to start my own. And I don't know the first thing about it, but I'm really excited about how we can, how our students can do that. And I think there's some assignments that they have based on that. But every time we have one of these sessions, I think we learn a little bit about how artists and educators within the realm of arts are diversifying their careers, right? They're not just a guitar player. They also may be a sound producer or something like that, or they're a writer. They do all kinds of other things. And creating a podcast has got to be right there along many of the things that you can do. And of course, we talked with our guest a couple of weeks ago, Karen Slack, who has not a podcast, but that sort of, what do we call it? Sort of her streaming show that she has, Kiki Conversations with Karen Slack. So she, but that's on the side from being an opera singer. So what will you, students, what will you do with your career to create, I call that sort of feeding the artist's self, creating that sort of angle that allows you to explore other aspects of your art. So that sounds pretty exciting. We've got more and more and more coming out, and you can check it out on crc.losfrios.edu/music. And you can see our upcoming performances and offering events there. We've got a lot of really great stuff coming up. Anything else you wanted to talk about in those in terms of those events, Max?
That's great. I love it. Again, this whole series is about, content creation and career development. Wherever you are along that path and that journey, for some people they accelerate through it, and some people it takes a little bit longer. But it's important that you find your own path to the things that you want to do. And this might just be one of those things that you enjoy doing. If you don't want to tend towards performance or education, you can still be involved in the arts in other ways. And so that's why we
want you involved in the arts. Yeah.
We need
definitely.
You, So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining us, and all the students, of course. This has been really fulfilling. You know, as leaders, of course, you know, there's a bit of anxiety building up to a performance like this, even though it's not live. So I'm just so glad everyone just came through and just blew me away and blew all of us away. So I'm looking forward to the next round. I'm just so inspired. So we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Me too. I certainly am. I've got some ideas, and I'm sure that our students have learned some things based on what they've heard and seen today. I certainly have, about what we're doing, and how we can continue to push the envelope and create new things for you. So super, super excited for everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to Max, and thank you to Lisa for being here. Thanks to all the faculty. I see a number of you out in the chats there. Thank you for supporting today and being here. Thanks, students. Thanks, student body, for being here and listening and watching. Thank you, staff, administrators. I see you out there as well. Are we ready to go on to our last little offering? Okay, so we have, I guess, started a tradition in that at the end of the concerts is the CRC fight song. That is correct. We have a fight song. And so I have the lyrics up there on the screen, so you can stay muted. I'm going to mute myself. And then if you feel like, just like the national anthem, you feel like standing, jumping up and down, dancing, or whatever, but you are encouraged to sing along to the chamber singers, the college chorus, and gospel choir, all singing Fight On Cosumnes, our fight song. Here it goes. I'm going to try and make this happen. Here we go. And then and then that's it, right? We're goodbye. Okay, so goodbye. Thank you, everybody. Here we go.
Fight on Cosumnes, pride of CRC. Carry our banner highest high to victory. Fight on Cosumnes, on to history. You are the honored guard of CRC. Fight on Cosumnes, pride of CRC. Carry our banner highest high to victory. Fight on Cosumnes, on to history. You are the honored guard of CRC.
Bye. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.